Steve Erceg is up against a two-time champion in Brandon Moreno this weekend, and some might consider him well prepared. He beat ranked opposition in his first ever UFC fight, and even managed to be robbed against the current UFC flyweight champion, Alexandre Pantoja. Erceg, in his earliest fights, was a passionate yet sloppy slugger, much unlike how he is currently viewed, as a slick and defensively sound boxer. Much like Charles Olivieras' earlier days, he would strike passionately and not mind so much if the fight went to the ground, but for a very different reason. Oliviera was very confident off of his back, both in staying safe and throwing up his own offense, while Erceg was, and is, very confident in a scramble. Having been a skillful regional wrestler in Australia, his ability to scramble to top position from even a disadvantaged state is rather impressive. He is also very active in his opponent's guard, preferring advancing position and ground and pound to the rather popular lay and pray that seems to win a few women's bantamweights fights with relative ease. Erceg's biggest weakness for the longest time was his ability to see strikes coming. For the longest time, seeing a kick was a problem for him, but what was much more obvious was his lack of sight of big swings that otherwise should not have hit anybody. As of right now, he displays the ability to defend anything that isn't set up very well, and his main defense when he isn't too sure of what's coming at him, or how to defend what's coming at him, is simply to give ground, and let his lead shoulder do all the work. His main problem, however, is that he relies on this defense for a great deal of things, much like John Jones with his constant leaning, and has been cracked on multiple occasions. Normally he isn't too faced by this, as he knows in most scenarios he can simply outpoint his opponent with slick offensive striking, but most recently he had been knocked out cold by a strike he hadn't quite got the distance of. This brings us to Erceg's second main weakness: thick people. Erceg, like almost anybody that is tall for their division, gives up some strength for the many positives of being taller, like the ability to simply lean away from any punch that's thrown your way. What he doesn't do very well, however, and what he should be doing considering he's a taller man with a history of slugging, is being able to clinch very well. Steve Erceg's main attack from the clinch is to grab a body lock, then push you up against the fence and try to trip you over. Unfortunately, when he doesn't seem to have the ability to trip over and jump onto the back of his more stocky and strong opponents, all of his top game and his one attack from the clinch seems to crumble away. This leaves these opponents running at Erceg at times, hoping to land a few clean shots on him as he leans and circles away, as something Erceg almost never does very well is land a counter. Actually, he has a very good left hook, and is something that has helped him in the past when he and his opponent are in a straight up shootout. In the words of Jack Slacky J, the guy who wrote that one Conor McGregor book himself, a great left hook suddenly tips every shootout into the left hooker's favor. But he has never used the king of the counter punches as a counter very effectively. Instead, he has found success laying skillful opponents out flat with a lead left hook, that is to say a left hook being used as a lead, or a part of a combination. If you were here for whether Erceg and Moreno should be winning this weekend, know that Moreno can crack, but that is likely the only advantage he has in this fight. He gives up an inch of height and doesn't seem to defend step-up left kicks very well, one of Erceg's favorite weapons. I'm not saying that it'll be easy, but I believe with how similarly skilled they are from the top position, and how scrambly they are as grapplers, Erceg will likely try to keep this one standing and will probably take advantage of Moreno with his good boxing skills. Again, this isn't to say it's a definite, and Moreno has shown to one-up adversity before, but without a significant strength advantage, I certainly don't expect this one to be easy.